Also new tonight, Houston immigration officials are calling it one of the worst repeat offender cases they have ever seen. A suspected gang member wanted for murder in Mexico, who they say has illegally entered the U.S. 10 times. Jason Miles is on the story for us. Jason, they say this case is an example of why they're conducting these targeted arrests.
That's what they say, Mia. This is the guy we're talking about, Humberto Avila. ICE says it's been tracking his back and forth movements across the border for more than 2 decades. These images of ICE deportation officers handing over Humberto Romero Avila to Mexican authorities this week possibly represents the last time he'll cross the U.S. border. According to ICE, Avila illegally has entered the country 10 times since 2002. In fact, he was immediately apprehended and returned to Mexico 4 times that year alone, and then again in 2005. Then in 2012, he was released to ICE after getting a DWI charge in Nacogdoches County after illegally entering the country for the 6th time. He was removed later that same year, but turned up again in 2013 following another DWI arrest, this time in Shelby County. Avila was back in the U.S. illegally for an 8th time in early 2014 and promptly returned to Mexico within days. He returned a month later, but was caught and prosecuted for illegal entry, then returned to Mexico after serving a 150-day sentence. The date and location of his 10th illegal entry is unknown, but he was flagged by ICE last March after yet another DWI arrest, his 4th, again in Shelby County. It was during processing for that deportation when ICE learned from the U.S. Embassy in Mexico that Avila was wanted for the 2007 murder of a 22-year-old man and reported to be a known member of the Paisas gang. In a statement, the head of Houston's ICE enforcement and removal operations said, quote, "In the more than 30 years that I've worked in immigration enforcement, I'm not sure I've ever come across a more egregious offender or a better example of why immigration enforcement is so critical to maintaining public safety." And this afternoon, I spoke with a nonprofit immigration rights group, Fiel, here in Houston. It does not generally agree with a lot of the mass deportation stuff that's been going on, but the group does believe individuals like Avila should be ICE's priority. Reporting live from the newsroom, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.